Hi yogis! We're going to do a nice gentle stretch that's going to get deeply into our inner and outer hips and legs and some more good stuff. So if you have a strap at home, or you can use a pants belt or some sturdy string or a nice long scarf, anything like that, go ahead and grab that. And if you do have a block or a prop like that, that might come in handy too. You don't have to have it, but it's a nice option to have. So go ahead and come on down to your spine. And you can have legs long or bent here, whatever feels good. If you have lordosis in the lower back, then it might be a lot of pulling on the lower back if your legs are long. So if you bend the knees, that might take that pull out. Otherwise, just allow the ankles to be heavy and weighted. Allow the arms to be out wide. And we're going to start right here, finding our center and our breath. So we'll take the three-part Dirga breath today with sound, the Ujjayi breath. On your inhale, go ahead and count to 3. Feel the belly rise, the ribs expand, sit bare all the way up into the collarbones. And as you exhale, see if you can draw the belly into the spine and get all that stale air out for a count of 3. So we're inhaling for a count of 3, filling up from bottom to top, front to back, side to side. Nice long exhale, slow count of 3, drawing belly button into spine. And then once you start to find this nice rhythm of the 3 count in and out, we'll start to layer in that Ujjayi breath with sound. On your next exhale, see if you can constrict the vocal cords in the back of the throat. The mouth is closed and you'll start to hear this nice ocean sound. It's almost like you're trying to whisper with the mouth closed. Some people like to do it on the inhale and the exhale. Some people might find that to be a little drying for the back of the throat, doing it both directions. You can. But at least on the exhale, see if you can start to cultivate that sound with your breath. And then allow that to be your anchor. So the mind will wander, it always does. It'll start to go off with a thought or a judgment or a memory. And when that happens, just gently allow that thought process to come back to the sound of your breath and that count of the breath entering and leaving your body. And we'll stay here for about another 8 rounds of breath. Allowing all the muscles that might still be tensed or holding tension here to release for these final few rounds of breath. We're coming into this present moment right here, right now, on our mat. Allowing everything that is external to be out there, tuning into our inner sight. Nice. Take one more big deep breath in. Nice, long, complete exhale. Nice. On the next in-breath, you're going to take that right knee and bring it in towards your body. Keep your left leg long. And then just clasp your hands behind that right knee. Allow the shoulders and the head to be relaxed and heavy on the mat. See if you can lengthen as long as you can and flex that left foot. So you're creating length in that leg. And we're drawing that right knee in. Take one more deep breath in. And on the exhale, you're going to keep a hold of that right shin. Just allow the left arm to come down to your left side. And we're going to really heat up that right hip here a little bit. So start to make some circles. Maybe start small to the right, down and around and up. Keeping that left leg flexed and long. And if that doesn't feel good on the hip flexor on the left, you can always bend that left knee and allow that knee to fall open and kind of counterweight your hips here. Otherwise, just stay where you are and just work into this whole right hip joint. Nice and slow, making these circles as big as you need to, or as small as you need to. Nice and relaxed in the upper body. And then the next time that that knee comes into center, go ahead and switch that the opposite direction a few rounds. Just feeling into the side. Take 2 more breaths with movement. Nice. Go ahead and keep that knee nice and tucked and tight to the body. See if you can locate your strap. And then you're going to take that strap around the sole of your right foot. Good. And then take that right leg straight on up to the ceiling. Good. Let your shoulders and your head come back down to the mat. Flex that right heel up to the ceiling. Draw the right toes towards your face, and you'll start to feel that calf get a little opening here. Just breathe into that back of that right leg, the hamstring, the calf. Take some big deep breaths. Yes, if you need to adjust, go ahead and bend that left knee. You can keep it straight if you want. You can go back and forth. Do what feels good in your body here. Good. Now, it takes about 30 seconds for the Golgi tendon to know that we're not going to overstretch. So we've been here around that long. You might start to find a little bit of space behind that right leg opening up. If it is inviting you to go deeper, maybe start to gently guide that strap back towards the body a little bit more. Just be kind. If you want a little more here, you can always start to engage the core and lift the nose towards the knee, lifting the shoulders off the mat. If that left leg is long, you're really pressing that long forward. So we're just scissoring those legs apart here. We're going to take 5 more deep breaths. Good. Try not to let your shoulders scrunch up at your ears. They're still down, even though if you're up off the mat. Leave some space in the neck. 2 more deep breaths. Good. 1 more inhale. Exhale, if the head and shoulders are up, bring them back to the mat. Now, take that strap in your right hand. Some people like to just hold it. I like to take my strap and I like to wrap my arm around it a couple times so you really have a good handle on it. And then from here, you're going to bend your left leg, and you're going to draw that right leg in towards the body, press the heel to the sky, and then as you exhale, take it out towards your right. And then you can counterweight this by allowing that left knee to fall towards the left. So be where you need to be here, and allow that inner thigh to open up with your breath. Maybe even close your eyes a little bit. Take that mind's eye into that area that's receiving the deepest sensation of the stretch. And we're breathing really nice and deep here. Use that Ujjayi breath to release that inner right thigh. Trying to keep the weight as even as you can between that right and left hip. Shoulders and head are heavy. You might start to find that this leg is just incrementally starting to release a little closer to the earth with each exhale. We'll be here for another 5 deep rounds of breath. At any time, if you need to back out of the posture, give yourself that permission in that time. Good deep breaths. I can see it coming incrementally closer to the ground here. 2 more. Nice. 1 more big breath. And then as you exhale, bring that right leg straight back up to the ceiling. Lengthen that left leg long on your mat. Good. Just pause here for a moment. This is going to be a very deep stretch. So it's not about how far you take this right leg towards the left. It's all about the sensation in your body and the stretch. So pressing that left leg long, draw this right leg in. Let your head and shoulders be heavy on the mat. Press that right heel to the sky, left toes to your face. Take this strap in your left hand, let that right arm go long, big breath in, and then it's just an incremental little movement over towards your left with that leg. You're gonna feel this in that outer hip, outer IT band, the whole back of that right leg. So sometimes if that leg is a little lower, we can get way over here. We're not going for that today. We're going for just that really deep, incremental little stretch. Deep breathing. You might even feel some heat in this one, a little burning in there. As that leg starts to release. Good, let's take another 2 rounds of breath. Big inhale. Nice long exhale. And then inhale, that leg comes back to center. Bend that left knee, plant the left foot, and then cross that right heel over the top of that left leg. Remove your strap, set it down to your left. And then here, you might just stay, maybe press that hip open with the right hand. Maybe a little rock might feel good. Just kind of see where you're at. And then if you want to go deeper, keep that figure forward, the legs, keep your right foot flexed to keep the knee joint safe. And you can start to draw that knee in towards the body, clasp the hands behind the thigh. Maybe that right elbow will land on the inner right thigh, and then maybe a little rock. And then you can stay right there if you want to. And then you also have an option, if you're here and you want to go deeper, you can take that right elbow around the right knee, left elbow around the right foot, keep that foot flexed, draw it in nice and tight, and then you can take a little more of a hip flexor stretch here for that left leg too, by allowing that left leg to go long. And then it might just kind of dangle, it might make its way to the earth, that's not where we have to go, hugging that in, and you can take a little rock. So whatever variation you're in here, we're going to stay for another 5 deep rounds of breath. Beautiful. One more big deep breath in. On your exhale, release anything you have that you're holding. Let those legs go long on your mat and just stay here in stillness for a breath or 2 and take that in. Notice all the sensations that are arising in these areas that were just opened very deeply. So we're doing a little bit more of a yin style in this gentle class. We're holding our postures not as long as a traditional yin, which holds could be anywhere up to 10 minutes on each. I won't do that to you today, but holding these stretches a little bit longer is really beneficial. It gets past stretching just muscle, and you can get into stretching more into the ligament and tendons of the body. So let's prepare to take that whole series on the other side. So go ahead and draw that left knee into your chest. Stay long with that right leg. Sorry. And we're just holding here, let the shoulders and the head be heavy on the mat. You can maybe even roll that left ankle out a little bit if you want to, or flex and extend. And just hugging that knee in nice and tight. And then when you're ready, start those nice little gentle movements of the knee on the ceiling. So we're just juicing up that left hip socket, nice and slow. Make them as big or as small as you need to. Breath is still nice and deep. When that knee comes up through center, go ahead and take those circles the opposite direction, just a couple rounds. Feeling some heat now coming into that left hip socket. Beautiful. One more big deep breath in. Exhale, come into center, and then we're going to take our straps. We're going to put that strap around that left sole of the foot and send it all the way up to the ceiling. Allow the head and shoulders to relax down onto your mat. Press that left heel to the sky, draw the toes towards you to open up that left calf. Ease into the back of this left leg. And let that right leg go long and flex that foot like you're trying to stand on the wall in front of you with that right leg. And if that doesn't feel good, you can always bend and plant that foot. So do what feels good in your body. It doesn't matter what Ray's doing. It just matters how it feels here for your body. And we're breathing deep. Beautiful. Now that we've been in this hold a little bit, maybe some space may have opened up behind that thigh. If you feel you want to go a little more, maybe start to draw it in, maybe walk up that strap, draw the nose towards the knee, shoulders lift off the mat, engage that core a little bit. You're still, if that right leg is long, pressing long with that right leg. There's a lot going on here, just scissoring those legs as far apart as we can, and we're still breathing. Notice what happened to your breath. We're going to be here for another 3 rounds. Really nice. One more big breath. Exhale, if the head and shoulders are up, let them release back to the mat. Good. And then we're going to take that strap in the left hand. You're going to go ahead and bend that right knee, plant your right foot. That's going to be your counterweight to keep those hips nice and heavy on your mat. Go ahead and draw that foot in towards you a little bit, and then exhale out to fall over towards your left. Notice if that right hip is coming off the mat, then maybe back out a little bit. Try to relax, close the eyes. Notice if the jaw and the shoulders are all crinching up here, let that release. We're just breathing into that whole inner right thigh and hip. The more that you press that heel away, the more you'll get into the calf here. Just feel into these sensations and what your body is asking for on this side. Let's find another 5 deep rounds of breath. If you lost that Ujjayi breath with sound, maybe we bring it back in. Sometimes we forget about that when we're going deep into these pretty deep stretches. Notice the thoughts that are arising in the mind. Let them just pass. Good. We got one more deep breath in. Nice long exhale. Beautiful. Slowly draw that left leg all the way up to the ceiling. That right leg is going to go long on your mat. Gonna take that strap in the right hand. We're going to flex that right foot, lengthening, trying to stand on that wall in front of you with that right leg. And then start to draw that left leg in towards you. Press the heel up. And then take a big breath here. Exhale, start to cross the body towards your right. Nice and easy. This is that big one, so we don't have to go very far. Good. Notice what's going on in the upper body. You really shouldn't be needing any muscle contraction up there at all. Just allow all the jaw to relax, the eyes to soften, the shoulders to release. Starting to feel that heat coming up now. On this side, we'll take 5 deep breaths here. Really good breath, right? Good. One more here. Inhale deeply. Long, complete exhale. And then you're going to come back to center. Go ahead and bend that right knee. Plant that right foot. Let that foot go on top of the right thigh. There you go. Keep flexing in that left foot. And then you decide on this side what feels good for you here. Maybe just pressing open on this side. That might be you. You can keep that shape of the number 4 in the legs here. Draw that right knee in and clasp. Let the head and shoulders stay relaxed. You also have that option here of cradling the left foot into the right elbow. Left elbow goes around that knee. And if that's the case, then you send that right leg long on the mat. We'll take 5 more deep breaths here. Nice. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Go ahead and slowly release that side. Go ahead and let both legs go long on the mat. And just take this in for a few moments here. Notice all the sensations that are arising in the hips, the thighs, the knees, the ankles. Take one more deep breath in. Good. Exhale, draw your knees into your chest. Give yourself a little hug, maybe a little rock, a little roll. Nice. And then let's try rocking and rolling up and down the spine just a couple times, and we'll engage the core here. Inhale, back, up. Good. One more time, and then we're going to come all the way up. Good, to seated. So we're going to find ourselves in a nice tall spine here. Let the shoulders drift down the back. Crown of the head is nice and tall. Take a deep breath. And then on your exhale, you're going to twist a little bit over towards your right. So this right arm might come right behind the spine. Maybe the left hand comes to that right knee. And just find the spine in a nice, easy, gentle twist. Maybe the eye gaze can start to go back towards the right wall or the right corner, or maybe even all the way back behind you, if that feels okay for your neck. Staying tall through the crown of the head. Take one more breath in. Exhale, chin forward first if you turned, and then come all the way back to center. Nice tall spine. We'll try that on the other side. Big breath in. Exhale, start to turn towards your left. Maybe that left hand will come behind the spine. Maybe right hand to the left knee. Stay nice and tall, shoulders drift down the back. Maybe the chin starts to glide towards that back right wall. Maybe it glides all the way behind. Good. Take one more breath in. Exhale, head comes forward first, and allow that spine to travel with it. Nice. From here, we're going to come onto all fours. Tabletop position. We're going to take cat-cow in all four directions that the spine travels. So let your fingers spread wide, knees under hips. If you need to pad your knees here, take a moment to do that. And then gaze right down between your hands. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, round through your spine here. Let your head and tail drop. Give yourself a little wiggle if you need it. And then little bend in the elbows as you inhale, tip head and tail up. Keep drawing the shoulders behind the back. Feel that nice splay across the collarbones. And then exhale back to neutral. And then as you inhale here, exhale deeply and twist a little towards your right, really engaging the right obliques and feel that stretch along the left intercostals. Inhale back through center. And exhale, squeeze the left obliques, come over towards your left. Beautiful. Inhale back through center. Exhale here in neutral. We'll take that one more time. Inhale, go ahead and tip the head and tail up. Exhale, round through the spine. Inhale to center. Exhale, C curve right. Good. Inhale, center. Exhale, C curve left. Nice. Inhale to center. Good. And then we're going to take a nice wide leg child's pose. So let your knees come to the edges of your mat. Let your big toes touch. Let your arms come a little long in front. And then explore dragging those hips back towards the heels. Allow a lot of room here with the thighs wide for the belly to rest into. Maybe the forehead comes down to the mat. If that's not happening, you can always take a block and put your forehead on a block. So feel grounded and rooted here through the tops of the feet and the shins, the palms, the forearms, the forehead. And we're going to stay here for 5 deep rounds of breath. Good. One more inhale. Nice long exhale. On the inhale, lift the head. Slowly make your way back into tabletop. Good. So from here, it doesn't matter how you get there. We're going to go ahead and we're going to bring the right foot up between the hands. So you might just lean a little bit onto that left leg, draw this foot up. If it doesn't make it, you can assist it with that right hand and just kind of wiggle it up there. What we're looking for is to get that right ankle underneath the right knee. You don't want to have it behind the knee. And then you may have to adjust that left knee, maybe press into the top of the left foot and just kind of lengthen it back a little. You'll feel a nice opening in that left hip flexor. If you need to pad the knee up here, you can pad up the knee. You have that block or a prop next to you here, so keep that close. And then we're going to take this right arm on the inside of that right foot. And then we're just going to walk that right foot to the edge of the mat. We're going to come down into lizard here. This might be your lizard. You might have a block here. Your lizard might be coming down to the forearms on your block. Your lizard can be here, or maybe you can take it down to the floor. So go ahead and find your lizard, and then we're just gonna breathe and maybe wiggle. So you can wiggle that knee and hip side to side, kind of rooting into this right hip a little bit and digging around in all these tight little crevices. You can also take that knee and allow it to maybe fall a little bit more towards the right, maybe exposing the sole of that right foot. That might be you. So we're going to stay here for 5 deep rounds of breath. Good breath. Beautiful. One more inhale. Nice. Exhale. If you're down here on the block, go ahead and come back to your palms. Good. And you can have this block handy if you need it, or you can have that left hand right here on the left ground. Your left hand on the ground. And then you're going to take your right hand to the top of that right thigh. And you're going to take a little twist towards your right. So go ahead and start to twist. You're going to feel this in that left hip flexor. Let that left hip just kind of sink down towards your mat. Shoulders are down the back. Maybe eye gaze starts to go over towards that right shoulder. You can stay here and you can breathe. If you want a quad stretch here, you can bend that left knee and maybe take that right hand behind and grab onto that left foot and keep staying with that nice deep breath right here. We're going to take 5 more rounds wherever you are. Beautiful. One more deep breath in. Long exhale. Inhale, go ahead and bring that hand back to center. And then you're going to shift those hips back and take that right knee back towards the left knee. Wide knees, sink back, child's pose. Just take that in for a moment on this side. Noticing the sensations that are rising here. Maybe noting the difference between the left and the right hip. The left and the right hip flexor. Any other little crevices that feel open or maybe a little closed, just observing what happened after that posture. Take another big deep breath in. Exhale. And we're going to inhale back up to tabletop. And we're going to take that same thing on the left side. If you need to grab your prop and bring it near. And then we're just going to kind of shift the hips a little towards that right knee so that we make space to bring that left foot up. And you can wiggle, wiggle, wiggle that foot. And then make sure you have that ankle right underneath your knee. And then maybe press into the top of that right foot and just kind of scooch it back until you feel that hip flexor get the stretch it needs on this side. Then we're going to take this right hand to the inside and then walk that left foot to the edge of the mat. Lizard might be here on this side. This might be pretty intense. Stay here and breathe. Come down to your block if you need to. Maybe onto the forearms. Settling in here. Maybe you come all the way down to the ground. Good. And then once you land here, maybe a little tiny rock side to side. Just feel into all those tight spots. You might start to let that left knee fall open towards the left wall. It might allow the sole of that left foot to kind of shine on you. Good. Take 5 more deep breaths. Good. One more inhale. Exhale. On the inhale, slowly make yourself tall. And then you're going to take this left hand to the top of that left thigh. Right hand is going to plant, either on the block or your mat. And then we're going to take that little journey towards our left and that twist. Really think of what's happening here in that right hip. Right hip flexor is coming a little closer to the earth. You're rotating the spine towards the left. Maybe gaze back at the back wall. And then you decide if you want to stay there, or for that quad stretch on the right leg, you bend that right heel in, reach back at the left hand, keep the chest open and nice and tall through the spine, and we breathe. Good. Take one more breath. Inhale. Exhale, release that side. Take that left hand to the inside. And then scooch those hips back. Scooch that left knee back. Take child's. Maybe wide legs, maybe knees together in this one, whatever's calling to you here. Couple deep rounds of breath. Those were some really big hip openers there. That's where we hold a lot of our tension in our hips. Most of us sit an awful lot, so it's a spot that's not just tight on you. Believe me, it's pretty much everybody. Take one more big breath. Nice long exhale. Inhale, come all the way back up. And we're going to make our way down to our spine. We're going to take our block with us. So go ahead and make your way down to your back, however you want to get there. Take your time. We're going to use this block and just pick a little bit more on those hip flexors. So, sorry, I'm going to have you bend your knees and plant your feet. Have your block in your hand. We're going to take this block. You can either have it on, it's got 3 different settings. So you can have it on low setting with this nice flat part, or medium. If you don't have a block at home, you can use a pillow or anything that is, enough to get your hips off the ground, just a couple inches. It doesn't have to be used, but it can come in really handy. I'm going to come sideways so you can see what this looks like from the side. So you're going to come into a bridge pose from here. Let your heels be kind of close to your glutes. Press into your feet. Raise your hips. And then decide if you want this on medium or if you want it on the low setting. The low setting, you're going to have it right on your tailbone. So feel yourself nice and rooted here. If it's on medium, it's a little more wonky. So you got to really make sure that your hips are completely supported before you release. And then we're in a nice supported bridge pose here. So you can stay here with the legs bent. If you want to explore allowing the legs to go long, maybe you can try that. We're going to be here for 5 breaths first. Feel that nice opening on the whole front of the body at the top of each inhale. Nice and grounded through the shoulders and the head, feet. Good. Take one more breath. Exhale. Good. If you have that block on medium setting, go ahead and press into your feet. Lift the hips high enough so that you can put it on low setting here. Make sure you're nice and rooted on there with your tailbone. And then go ahead and take both legs up to the ceiling. Legs up the wall here. So this is just giving us a couple more inches of lift. It can feel really nice. If you have sciatica issues, this can be really delicious for those areas. It can help a lot if you do this one every day. So give it a shot, take a few deep breaths. And know that you can stay right here with legs up the wall this entire time if this is you today. You don't have to go any further. I'm going to give you an option of another hip flexor stretch. So if you'd like to take that, you're going to go ahead here and draw that right knee in and clasp your hands around that right shin. Take a deep breath, really think of pressing that left heel to the sky, lengthening that left leg. And as you exhale, take that long left leg down towards the mat. It might not make it anywhere near the mat, it's okay. You got extra lift here, so it might just dangle. But what we're looking for is the weight of that leg to open that left hip flexor. So just let it settle, breathe deep, shoulders and head again, check in there, make sure they're relaxed. We're drawing that right knee in, nice and tight, again, creating that space between the legs. Good, and I'm gonna take this one too, because I love this stretch. I'm gonna hang here for 3 breaths with you. Good, one more inhale. Exhale. Inhale, take that left leg straight up to the ceiling. Release the right leg to meet the left. Legs up the wall. Take a breath in. And then as you exhale, draw that left knee in. Clasp the hands around the left shin. Draw it in nice and tight. Inhale, lengthen. Press the heel to the sky in that right leg. And then as you exhale, let that right leg journey down towards the ground as you draw that left knee in, creating that space here in that right hip flexor. Breathe deep, check in with the shoulders. Take one more big, beautiful breath in. Long exhale as you start to draw that right leg up to the ceiling. Release the left to meet it, legs up the wall. Just stay here for about 3 deep breaths. Nice breath in. And exhale, bend the knees, plant the feet. Raise those hips high enough that you can release that block from underneath your seat. Slowly let that spine settle back down into the mat. We'll seal this practice with a happy baby here, lengthening that lower back out. So knees are gonna come wide. Go ahead and see if you can grab your feet. Your elbows are on the insides of your legs here. And then you can rock side to side if that feels good. You can rock up and down. You can take one leg long. So whatever feels good. Just think about the head and shoulders being heavy and lengthening that tailbone long in front of you. We'll take about another 3 deep rounds of breath here. Take one more breath in. Exhale, release everything long onto your mat. Let the legs go long. Let your arms release down to your sides. Good. If you'd like here to make any kind of little wiggles or adjustments, maybe pressing into the back of the head, slightly lifting the shoulders, let them be nice and broad and wide, and settle back down onto your mat. Take your deepest breath of the day here. Fill completely full. Exhale out the mouth. Let everything go into your mat. No need for any muscular contraction here at all. Maybe feel the muscles release away from the bones. And feel how good it is to not have to hold yourself up in any way here. Feel the entire backside of your body completely supported. Feel the entire front of the body light. And we'll bring our attention down into the soles of our feet. Maybe allowing the big toes to draw down towards the earth as the ankles release out towards their sides. We'll begin to draw awareness of the calves to the backs of the knees. And awareness runs up the hamstrings, all the way to the glutes. Noting the weight of the hips here. And both legs are heavy and weighted. Both legs soften and relax. And we'll bring our attention to the belly, noting the gentle rise and fall of the belly with the breath. Noting the gentle expanding and contracting of the ribs as the body is breathing itself. Bringing awareness up into the upper chest. And we'll bring our attention to the notch at the base of the throat. Perhaps noting the coolness of the in-breath and the warmth of the out-breath. And from here, allow your awareness to come into the shoulders, noting them weighted and heavy. And allow awareness to travel down the upper arms to the elbows. And awareness runs down the forearms towards the wrists. Perhaps noticing a slight natural curl here to the fingertips. As both legs, the whole torso, and both arms soften and release. We'll bring our attention into the face, allowing the jaw to relax, perhaps creating a slight separation in the back teeth. The tongue falls away from the roof of the mouth. Noticing the ears weighted and heavy. And bring attention towards the eyes, allowing the muscles around the eyes to soften and relax. The muscles behind the eyes release back and down as the eyelids gently soften over the eyes. And we'll bring our attention to the forehead, perhaps noting where the forehead ends and the hairline begins. Soften along the entire scalp to the back of the head and neck. And both legs, the whole torso, both arms and the head, release, relax, soften, and let go. The whole body resting, heavy and at ease. Noticing perhaps the thoughts that are rising and falling here. And allow them to drift by almost like clouds, just watching as the wind gently carries these thoughts across the sky, and you're observing. Nothing to change, nothing to fix. Just being here in each moment, with each breath, allowing everything to be just as it is.